Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if the desktop audio is working. If the game audio is working. Oh, I think it is now. Oh, I was trying to fix it because I thought it was broken. But maybe it's not broken. Anyway, let me know if you can't hear the game. Because I thought it was broken. Might not be broken. I don't know. I'm not very technical. Anyway, it's time to disco. Let's see if we can solve this murder, eh? I mean, well, we've already solved the murder, haven't we? We know who done it, because they confessed. But we now need to explore this here... Ah, so we're locked in. Interesting. Go to explore the harbour. Every worker equals member of the board is written at the top of the files. And at the bottom, union logo and demand democracy. Dewey typewriter. Okay. What can we look at? What's this? Okay, yeah, I love that. I don't know what we're doing with these postcards, but sure. Sure. Got a book. Leading intellectual organ of Martinez communism.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why Friesel?
Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Oh, it's amusing, is it? Okay. I'll try and remember to laugh.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-colour pictures to direct your attention.
Oh man,
Just
I've seen a
column
book with
after
no
column
pictures.
of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. No advertisements, you notice. So who's funding this radical commentary?
That's an interesting thought, savoir-faire.
After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
I mean, we're going to read all of it, so strap yourselves in.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
Yeah, okay, you make a fair point.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
International developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd, Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Art and culture?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
That's what I said. I speak enough German to know that.
Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you.
Oh, sorry, not German. Volda.
Obviously, because it's cool to drop random phrases in foreign languages.
It is very cool.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as C.S.
C.S. Lewis?
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
With the profile of C.S.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Tip-top tourney.
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming
Oh yeah,
a
we
page
know
or two,
about that,
you
don't we?
gather
It's like
that it has something to do with motor carriage racing.
it's like the Formula
If
One
you
thing.
don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
All right, what did they say about it?
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colourful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
Who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
That means books.
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
I mean, I don't know that my name's not Exilus, to be fair. I think it's probably Harry, but I don't know that.
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tournée is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, this article says no one really watches Tip Top Tournée for the races.
Ah, come on. Can this article read your mind?
It seems to think so.
A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbour red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Dare they try and evict someone for not paying their rent? I mean, to be fair, that sounds like the exact reason you should evict someone. Reasonable accommodation.
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the forces of international capital or their mucilaginous allies in the coalition.
Mucilaginous, you say?
Why do communists love puerile insults? And they wonder why they're always being left out in the cold.
Hold on. What's this about a coalition?
Judging from the context, it's something very large and fundamental. You should probably know about it already, honestly.
I mean, there's a lot of things I should know about already, but come on, this is me.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Yes, we're done. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. Only 34 pretty pennies. It's not many pretty pennies. What's this? Oh, I've got a level up that I can use if I need to. Don't think I will, as of yet.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
Oh, that's lucky.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Very unfortunate.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Let's browse.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara.
Not Ilmara.
And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Now let's do.
Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. How unwieldy your own willpower is to yourself.
All right.
You're like an absurdist Samaran monk.
Volition, that was,
Focusing
you say.
to not focus. Hermeneutics was almost within your grasp, but now only vague letters float before your eyes. Less meaningful, but aesthetically more pleasing.
If I let my eyes go completely out of focus, all shapes start melting.
Is that what you're doing with those photos over there?
Yes.
Right. This is probably not relevant to our case. After all, we're not investigating an accounting mystery.
Maybe we are, Kim.
Whatever's hidden
Yes.
here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Look at
It
them.
appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners.
Always more banners.
All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Look, Kim. A to-do note with a list of errands for Everart.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
Look, we know he wears shoes. And he has plants. And he uses floors. They're important things, Kim.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
It does. Take another look.
Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes. Special all items on the list. The drawer slides shut smoothly.
Special whirling borscht. That'll be from the Whirling in Rags, right? Hummety hum. Hummety hummety hum. I love that. Oh, I love those. Let's put those on. Are they better than these? Yes. Very nice, very nice, very nice. What else is there? Let's have a look at this. It's a radio.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
Oh, I could phone someone. Who will I phone?
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Yeah, let's...
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952, and a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then...
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lammy. How may I help you?
That's not what I was expecting.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lammy.
Do you know me?
No. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Maybe I do. Why did I
Maybe you
call
called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
Maybe, but I don't even know my name.
If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main.
Okay.
I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
Yes,
He
but
thinks you're pulling a prank on him.
I might well be.
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
But they might know who I am. What if they know who I am? I could go to the video rental place and then find out my name. Oh, we're up here now. Oh, I can get my coat.
The tarpaulin cloak is still hanging on the railing. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on its back. As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips.
Wait, what did the jacket do? Yeah, let's put this on. Ooh, I'm looking good. What's the hat do? Reaction speed, rhetoric. I'm gonna... Yeah. I'm looking good. Oh, cigarette butts, not cigarettes.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Wait, how hard?
Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
This is really sad. I must have been miserable.
Yes, this scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's just move on.
Can I, though, pick up all the bottles? What's that?
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
So this is where Renee works. I'm going to look around.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. Looks like the inhabitant is rather pedantic when it comes to order.
Take the picture.
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Rene, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera. Rene looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories.
Why did you take that picture of René?
I don't know. I'm a cop. It's instinctual to collect
Fine.
evidence.
But let's move. I don't want to be seen snooping around here.
Look, if the game gives me the option to take a thing, I'm gonna take the thing. Okay. Should we, can we go down here? No? Where? I don't know where I'm supposed to go then. Ah, there's some stairs. Hang on. We were having a thought. Oh, go back. Thought. Oh. That wasn't a particularly deep thought.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Marche. On. Arrête. Off.
I'm gonna leave it for now. Don't know what it does. It'll be that, I guess. Yeah. Everything's asleep. Yoink.
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, put the logos on.
You sound happy.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along.
Oh, you don't say.
The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, now belongs to Everard.
Hi.
Everard, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you people and scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more badness?
Oh, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
What was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
What do you mean by taking the soup to men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Who makes it at the Whirling?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something's off about this borscht. I'm going to look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
What's going on here?
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Oh dear. I'll keep it
The
to
old
myself.
man whistles and hums a jaunty tune to himself.
Yeah, Ubi.
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Arish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumours.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Where is everybody?
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is.
Don't say.
You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Evrard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Evrard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
What trouble did Titus get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
But what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. Well, that's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hard ease.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
What fight did you get into, Leo?
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger boys always used to pick on me. You see, I had a bit of a temper back in the day. Flew off the handle like nobody's business. But Mr. Everett and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad he needed stitches on his head. Noel never started another fight with anyone after this. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everett. I'm sure you'll be good friends. He's friends with everyone around here.
You're never getting anything useful out of him. It's good enough you found out Everard has a brother called Edgar, and he...
I knew
helped
that anyway.
Leo.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
A lady, you say? Hang on, Miss Beaufort.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those douce sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
Who is Miss Beaufort?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was
Oh.
gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
Yeah, we know her.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl.
Yeah.
Grew up in this here
She's the
neighborhood.
fake gardener.
Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the
don't get along with
community
me,
one
mate.
day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids.
Oh.
Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener?
Okay, so this is the union fixer, the gardener.
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip, too.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Mm-hmm. What's in that container?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Looking for the leader.
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Marginise what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Patience. Deep down you have the mental power to keep listening.
Do I?
Not many would.
Do
but
I?
You do.
Don't interrupt him.
Had an arithmetics teacher, Miss Bellows. Her real name was Miss Bellams. She was a real pretty lady, but when she got mad... all the boys liked her, if you know what I mean, mister. We used to sneak in her yard in the dark and peek through the window. One time we saw Miss Bellows with a fellow. Yes, we did, mister.
No, you fucking didn't.
Yes, we did, mister. Indeed we did. Him was a big fellow. Used to drive the Troika near ours' school and everything. Them was all naked too.
Oh.
That's all I got to say about that.
Well, very interesting, very interesting. Thank you for telling me the whole thing.
Thank you. Almost forgot. Mr. Everard is in that container over there. I got
Thanks.
distracted telling the story, but he's in there. Bye-bye now.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Those are some giant thermoses. Taxidermy fish that tells the time. That's quite cool.
Before you is
Oh,
the
good
walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up
That
from
is
his
a
work,
face.
not the least bit surprised to see you.
It's a face and a half, that.
With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. A typical power play. Wait for him to speak first. Show him you've got a backbone.
Alright.
The one good eye of this man fills you up without even flickering. The other, his lazy eye, is constantly moving like a goldfish in a tank, grotesquely magnified by his +6 glasses. Amblyopia, a childhood condition.
Amblyopia.
For a moment, you don't know where to look. It is unbearably humid in the trailer. Beads of sweat slide down the man's forehead.
Keep staring.
At first, nothing happens. His face wears a wide and self-satisfied smile. Every now and then, he smacks his big lips.
So,
Aha! I won.
Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi, how
Mr.
nice that
Dubois,
you found a
that's
moment
my
to pay a
name.
visit
I've got
to
a
the
name.
Devarders Union. I'm Everard Clare, head of this little operation here.
I'm Harry Dubois.
Please, have a seat.
The folding chair looks like a torture device. Extremely uncomfortable.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? you're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Takes
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
main series.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's
Oh,
good money.
is that all?
You need it.
Wait, you knew guards?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Keep it. I'm good.
Okay. I respect a man with principles.
If it was like
No
100, I
handouts,
probably
then.
would have taken it, but 25, nah.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I'm not worried. I got this.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me.
Harry
Don't be.
Dubois, nice.
Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it.
He's got
I have
my
a
gun, hasn't
feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2
Goddamn.
barrels loaded.
God damn. Kim?
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
God.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are going to shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not gonna cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to
Good job,
pull?
I've got lots of magnesium on
You
me.
need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
Safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
I want to talk about
Oh, of
hanging.
course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, It's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me,
But
but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
I've opened a few doors in my life.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colours, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
Oh, that means there's lots shady about it.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Okay.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
I've just finished investigating the local
You've got a
drug
lot of
trade.
spirit clearing up the drug problem alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now, let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. Not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
Can you help me get a dead body down from
You
the
might
tree?
have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
You're a community leader. Help your community
I can
out.
certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
Good.
Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And, Jean, please take it easy with the race science. He's had enough of that. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you.
Why did you call me Mr. Dubois?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
So that's really my name.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
My memory's fine. I'm just testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Asking too many questions will make you look weak. You should maybe focus on the folder. Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Where did you get it?
This? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Let's get this straight. What's my full name?
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
Okay, I like it. I can
And
work with
I
that.
can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you?
have a look.
As you look at the folder,
Yes.
Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder.
That's
It's just
not-
another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
That's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you.
Good.
A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's
Okay.
move on.
Aren't you going to ask me how I got it?
Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil.
It was a tactic. I needed to get in somehow. It's not like I'm a
Of
racist
course,
now.
Harry, of course. You're not some kind of a fantastic racist now. And rest assured, no one's going to hear about it. No one's going to know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Word of how racy it got will never leave Martinez. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
I met Joyce. the
Oh,
company
that's very
representative.
nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals.
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Gormont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Called him a midget.
Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her.
Yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is,
Hey,
her
sausage!
heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
How are you?
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
I find it a little odd.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if
Yeah,
I
good,
wasn't
thanks.
nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
I am quite upset that we actually have to go to work on a Monday for once. Very upsetting. Shouldn't be allowed, I think. I have recovered from the cold, yes. My immune system is very, very bad. So I tend to catch everything going. So I haven't any colds. But I do not currently have a cold. So it's nice. Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
It's a fortress. He knows she can't get in here. He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization.
Do you know what? I have no idea how this playthrough's going. I don't know what's a good outcome, what's a bad outcome. I don't. Stuff's just happening. I've got lots of health items and lots of morale items though, so I'm not on the verge of dying. So I feel like so long as I'm not on the verge of dying, everything's going well. And I just discovered what his name is, so that's exciting. We are Harry Dubois.
I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gum. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
I don't really want to talk about those things.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great, wouldn't want to get stuck in
Here,
here.
you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take
Oh,
care,
I'm not
Harry.
Okay, can I go through here? Kaleidocally. What was in here? Get the body down. Might finally get that done. Well, we'll see if we need to do any of those. I'm not specifically going to go back to try them, I don't think, but if they come up again, we can have a go. Is it worth talking to him again?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
Had some questions for you if it's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all, mister.
Okay, we've covered everything. That's cool. I might play around. Oh, hello. Monies. Thank you. Might play around with this shipping container thing. Kalvsund means whale fjord. Arden. What happens if we press some buttons?
A rusting control panel with marsh.
Marsh.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Okay. That looks quite precarious.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled.
Its Purpose? What do you mean?
Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. And now it will rest.
I can't see how that was worth the ruckus, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Arrête.
The crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all.
What for pressing
No
that?
screech of metal when you push the button
Okay.
this.
So, what's that done? Oh, that's what that's done.
Before you stands a
Interesting.
cargo container. Just one of many in the yard.
I think there's something special about it.
Is this like your thing with that wall again?
It is like my thing with that wall again, yes, Kim?
You do? Because I don't.
Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
I don't know, Kim. I
It's
just
a
click
cargo
on
container,
things.
detective, just like all the others. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
Open the
You
door.
attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. No reply.
I mean, we'll try.
Why
Nah.
are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
Because what wasn't an option?
Using my body over my wits.
Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours.
I mean, it's like nearly 8 o'clock. It pretty much is after hours. Okay. We'll be boring then and not go in the container. You happy now, Kim? Hello.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Everyone told you to help us get the body down
So
from the tree.
it was. My unpromising race pupil entered the harbor and used my superior to give me orders. I salute your cunning and will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
Good.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Alright.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
Guess we just wait. I can't move, I can't do anything. Just stand here and wait. Can't even click on these. I mean, I'm assuming the game hasn't crashed. Did crash once before. I never know how long to leave it when you're not sure if it's crashed or not. I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? Okay, I can't even press escape. So I think maybe it's crashed. I don't know. I'm going to exit it and go back in again. I don't know when it last saved. Tum 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 tum. Tum 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 tummy tum 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 tum. A tum tum tummy tum 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 tum. A tum 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 tum. A tum 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 tummy tum 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 tum. Let's hope it auto-saved somewhere recent. Okay, at what stage had we been in there? No. Okay. So I will whiz through all that again then. And let's quick save a few times.
Before you is a wood with a typical power play. The one good, grotesquely amblyopia. For a moment, you don't know where to. At first,
Sir, Mr. Dubois, please.
the folding,
You go ahead, detective.
whatever he has in store.
Do you know what? I'm not going to stand.
What's with this?
I'm not going to sit down this time.
Please, Mr. Dubois. Let us converse in a civilized manner. Very well, Mr. Dubois. I, too, should you find yourself more amenable in the future...
Damn. That's a...
Excellent,
I've got to sit
Mr.
down.
Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man. So tell me...
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair.
by the way, it should be sufficient...
Wow. That's 25
Yes,
With a grin, he points to the check.
Okay, now...
The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravity.
Are you all right? It's not like...
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. God, you're sweating.
Mr. Dubois...
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps...
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois!
Maybe you could use your hands.
What an odd...
Okay, enough.
Quick, it is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions?
What? Harry! How... You've hurt me, Harry. I trust you. Like...
He's hiding.
Thank you for your understanding.
You too.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become measured... Of course, no one's gonna... Anyway, I assure you...
You might have not...
Mr.
Clay. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us.
I can set... But of course, Jean-Luc... And... You can find Jean-Luc down at the gate. Of course.
That's what the hang...
My God.
I think
It might be a good idea to hide your
So good.
Words fl- I guess word.
Are you trying to...
Mr. Kitzer.
Asking too many questions will make you look weak. You should maybe focus on the folder.
Oh, weird. So it saved that I spent the points. That's interesting.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge.
Ah,
This trap.
I find...
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi.
Everard's large
Oh my
hands
God.
are covering the folder. But the look on his face.
Passed
says,
it last time.
Oh, Harry.
I'm sure it's not that bad. At worst, he has not.
So how about it, Harry? You need a family? Harry, you're not a family man. Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. It's Harry. Harry Dubois. And I can work with you, Harry. Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic.
I'm not apologetic.
Well, you
I'm
sure come off
confident.
as very confident in all... Of course, Harry, of course.
I'm
that's one thing I want to... We're all trying...
Blah, blah, blah.
It's so nice.
I'm just a nice guy. What do you mean, Harry? He's an old man, Harry. Harry, honestly, I'm beginning to think... Vanished? Oh, did I...
Wait, there was no mention.
Harry,
If it's spilled blood you're looking for,
Yes, yeah.
his expression makes it clear.
If she...
He doesn't want to.
Of course, I have no Tell her about all...
It is rather interesting to tell.
Ah,
Actually, he refused. Not even a speck of anger in his voice.
yes. Your gun will be...
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Yes. Thank you for the hot tip regarding... Now, please.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
I don't care about my gun. I love it, Harry. Wish I could be like that, but I can't. I have a responsibility to this
So
community.
he's got my gun.
I can't have a loaded gun out in the streets.
The officer is exaggerating. Of course we care about the missing firearm, and we are actively looking for it as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized look.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is... But there's a thing.
Yes, that's...
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on, and I'm sure you're...
Does this jiggling?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and...
You want to send someone...
I repeat, I'm a Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such... Harry, my dear friend. I am what people call a fantastic. You can get the key from Manana. Just open the door. You don't need... I don't know what that means. You know what? Don't
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking.
Wait. You need this. Here.
Okay. Save.
It's the
Something
ledger you
else I can
found
do
in
with
the
it.
trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together, without resistance or sound. The two panel, it's slightly, ever so slightly, an aluminium block runs
Thought
the
there was
width.
something
The
on
surface is interrupted by a silver.
Hey,
pipe.
what's this?
That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
Kind
It
of
depends.
information?
Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
How can I read
Any
it?
capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Light.
All RCM vehicles have
Ho-ho.
headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat. The stuff of death itself.
Okay, so done, 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 done. Let's go. Save. Didn't see that before. increased +1 electrochemistry. I think I'd rather have half-light than electrochemistry. I think. What does half-light do? Fight off light. And electrochemistry is drugs. I don't know which is better, really. Well, that broke something.
Crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Oh, you did miss the chair. Welcome back, though.
And with a surprise.
And in fact, you missed the chair twice.
The crane places the container down.
Because the game crashed again and I had to do it twice, so...
The harbour sleeps as
you had two
the strike
chances and you missed it.
rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving...
I can't see how that was worth.
So, I've done all this before.
Before you stands a cup.
You do? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on? There may very well be. We are not here to interact with containers.
You attempt. To your left, the lieutenant got no reply. Why are you even trying to open it?
Because what? Wasn't enough. Now is not the time to get...
How are you, head clown? Right, this is where it crashed last time. Or at least I think it crashed. I don't know if it crashed, but it wouldn't let me do anything.
The unpromising race pupil. So it was.
You're so...
There's a pup.
But while I am babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
Oh, you're done with exams. Excellent, excellent. How do you think they went? Okay, it's still not letting me do it. Is this normal? Is this how it's supposed to go? Do I just wait? Is it broken? I feel like it's broken again. Yeah, I think it's broken. Let's try again. Yes, a quick Google says this is not how it's supposed to go. A lot of people have had this bug, apparently. Yeah, it crashed again. Quite a few people have had this bug, apparently.
The unpromising race pupil returns, so it was.
You're so...
There's a but.
But, while
This is the uncomfortable result of not...
listen to your little friend, babe. See that they stay here the whole time.
Let's see if it works this time. If not, we might have to go and do some other things.
The woman's
Haha,
gaze
it works
follows
this time.
Measurehead as
I
he
don't know what I
leaves.
did differently. Well, I did the other conversation option before I went straight for it. Maybe that's how to avoid the bug.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Apparently so.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I also wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Evrod's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
Yes, I am an unbelievably corrupt cop. I am corrupt every opportunity I get.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno.
Oh god.
Then
Kuno versus Measurehead. That is something I wish I could see.
the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
There's been no side choosing. We did what we had to do.
And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
Whatever, my dude. So the body's down now. Awesome. Let's go have a look. Oh, also save, because I'm not doing that again. Oh, and we need to talk to this dude as well.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It was nice enough.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Hanged man.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
The merc was hanged with a very specific type of cargo belts.
What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course.
Push?
Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
What does that mean?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
Did you kill him?
I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
Apparently you've got the key to a door.
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
Said it belonged to a weasel.
Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
I heard something about a weasel and it didn't sound like a local polar weasel, if you know what I mean. Oh, wait.
Polar weasel? Oh, I know what you mean. I'm pretty sure he's actually Occidental, though. So you're gonna be committing fratricide, my racist friend. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the Whirling and Rabbit.
Haha, I know the door.
That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this task? The weasel person, when he'll be home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard.
Good.
Who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting. Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Do you know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share.
Your share?
Aye.
So not wages or pensions
This stuff,
or...
they already covered.
You just got the benefits, that's something.
It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place.
How large a share would you like?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Are you a communist?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
You shouldn't take what's not yours.
Then how can anything ever be mine? But that's okay. We don't have to agree. The prairie is wide enough for all of us.
Tell me about Everard.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
What does bossing a union entail anyway?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
It does seem lavish
He
to
is
me.
reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political
Sure.
situation.
I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool.
Do you know, I don't understand half of what the encyclopedia says.
That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Doesn't sound that cool. It's not disco.
The man sits on the railing. His
Okay. Right. There's a body, we need to get down. No, it's already down. There's a body, it's already down. There's a lady up there. Thank you, no.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Stop using the K word, it belongs in the
Can't
past.
tell Kuno what words to use. Fucking kipped.
What is this, a word museum? You want to belong to museum, Kuno, with old people?
Fuck you. Kuno says kipped if he wants to. Kuno's dad says kipped all the time. Kipped's a cool word.
Kipped, kipped, kippity, kippty, kipped. Kippity, kipped, 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 kipped.
Alright.
It's like a little engine has come alive on the other side of the fence. An engine that only says kipped.
Okay, that had the opposite
Kipped,
effect
kipped,
of
kipped.
what I needed to have.
Alright, shut it down, see. The cunt has business to do. So?
He told me you promised to sick the pigs on him.
Yeah, so? Kuno did sick the pigs on him. Kuno's a man of his word.
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like jello.
That is true, you did.
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Alright.
Good idea.
Yes, let's move on.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. Don't be saying what Kuno said back to Kuno. Get the fuck out of here, Patterson Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face.
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno doesn't...
I haven't got anything interesting to say. Right. Well, body.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Well, it's down.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised.
Skill
The
point.
victim is ready for a field autopsy.
Field autopsy.
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
The fuck are they on about?
I don't know, Kuno.
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
Got it.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Kim, I feel like we've been over this a few times in the last 2 days. I've forgotten everything.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Do you have another pair of gloves?
Unfortunately, no.
I need a pair then.
Let's not go glove hunting, please. let's use division of labor. I perform the anatomical side while you take notes.
Okay, we just fill this in, right?
That's right.
Okay.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
1. Assistant.
That's you.
Harry Dubois.
the
I know my
corpse is
name.
indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
Coroner's case number.
KK57-0803.0815.
that's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
My initials. But we know my name now.
Next.
Name.
We've heard the nom de guerre. Lely. It's better than nothing. Write it down.
Laylee.
What's next? Date of birth?
Yep.
NA.
Age.
Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
Gonna write 42.
He nods.
Race.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
Right.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Shush, hanged man. You don't get a say anymore. Sex.
Fucky!
Alright.
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only 1 box remains.
Evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
What is treatment anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
Don't overdo it. It's okay to be unsure.
Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over?
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dogwalkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform.
Also, I shot him in the chest.
Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See? It's happening?
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
When am I going to get them?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
I'm going to write
The
it
boot
down.
has a serial number.
But I am going to
It's
come and get the
E50
boots.
dot 100 dot 100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design.
Write it down.
Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case file.
Oh,
as
you made me
document
jump then,
A1.
Buzzcat.
The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigat Mini.
I didn't know she was around. And she just brushed against my leg and tickled. Then she's gone again.
The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Touch the corpse's hair before moving on.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim.
Stroke his hair gently.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand, like thread off a rag doll's head.
Okay.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Oh, I wonder what did those, hey Kuno.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
I'll write it.
Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the bell so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
I mean, might well do that, yeah.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
I'm not your pig.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
Concentrate on the belt, not on who is whose pig. There is no pig. There are only the chain cutters and the belt.
Look for good spots.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast.
Oh, I can't put any more points into physical instruments either. I was going to put my spare point in there. Cross your fingers, cross your fingers. Hope everyone's got their fingers crossed. Cross them, cross them, cross them.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together.
I was terrified
Sweat
I was
forming
going
on the
to
ground.
fuck his head off, as Kuno so delicately put it. Was it Kuno? Yeah, Kuno.
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest. pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant.
Chest isn't intact.
Pelvis
I shot
intact.
him in it, didn't I?
Genitalia.
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is
I
average
don't know why I
sized,
clicked that. I didn't
congested
really want to look
from
at
the
his
downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Write it down and
Back
move on.
is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
Scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
Pick up that.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name?
My name is...
I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo de Cappadocia?
Okay. We're going down the weird route. Let's go full on weird. It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair?
I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy, before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
Write it down.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Internal examination. Summary.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
Yeah, that doesn't go in an autopsy report. Conceptualization. Nope.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips.
I hope no one's eating
black
while they're
and
watching this, by
viscous.
the way, because it's a bit grim.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Maybe you don't know as much about sex as you think you do, Kuno S.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
I don't want to look, but I've looked at everything else, so...
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Oh, don't,
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking.
Probably shouldn't have done that.
Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Inland Empire, you're weird.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, Na.
Hepato... I don't know what that is.
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Same for toxicology and serology, Na.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could do.
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
I shall.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Write it down, omit the voila.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries summary.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What about the injuries we've inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
Okay, I inflicted.
Okay, so there's a spin-stabilized munition from a Kiel A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung. I don't think we should mention that. Better not to muddy the waters.
But isn't that sloppy?
Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, such details would only confuse them.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries.
Bite marks.
Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Alright.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath the description of injury, 2 boxes.
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Right. Next?
What's the 4th?
Nothing. Just in case.
Okay. Hang on.
The corpse lay slouched.
Tell me something.
Shoot,
dead man.
loony Rooney.
You said you had
Oh
injuries.
yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Tracts and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
Alright, but to where?
Just a small gulp away. Might be luck come back later, Kobo.
Okay.
Alright. A
Ligature.
dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Write it down.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
First, how'd it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Yeah, what now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg
Okay.
for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something? You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Perception, you say?
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
What's this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Crawl up his nostrils.
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
Push.
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage.
The fuck is he doing?
The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
Mouth. Has it crashed again?
The oral
no.
cavity is cold and moist.
Thinking.
A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Play with it. Open your eyes.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
Abrasion collar.
Kuno is silent.
Poke.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Ugh.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
This is really pleasant, isn't it? I hope you're all enjoying this.
The fuck is happening?
I don't know, Kuno S. I don't know, and I kind of wish it wasn't happening. But here we all are.
Ah, shit, see?
Brainstem?
Yes, that's what this part is called. You've seen the drawings. You've studied them.
Feel around.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
I mean, we know that.
Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
There's a cavity cut right between the
The
hemispheres.
lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Quivering with awe. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
I was gonna say, like, how long are this dude's fingers if we can reach right into his brain through a tiny hole in his mouth?
All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. That's really horrible.
Your fingers reach toward his skull.
Oh,
His cerebral cortex
I
feels
don't like
jelly.
it.
Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
I feel a solid object right under the skull.
Can you get to it?
Inspect first.
There's a tiny crack. A protrusion in the cranium. Right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it. From the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull. in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
Forget about the fucking exit wound, Beano. The pig is wearing him like a fuck puppet.
She's not wrong.
Her voice is absolutely sizzling with excitement.
Oh. Don't let down Kuno S. Whew. Oh?
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
I got it.
My pig's fucking got it.
What? What is it?
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
Fucking beautiful!
A bullet.
I'm quite proud of myself.
The bullet
Well, of
falls
him.
in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Can I have it?
Of course. You've earned it.
Ooh.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Just not.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn right.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3. Ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
Yes.
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Yes. The ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatments.
Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
You think so?
I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There is no satisfactory explanation.
Yep.
There have been other signs too.
Yeah.
Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did, full-heartedly. Well, no more.
No more.
We almost fell for it, he thinks. Almost.
Who would do this?
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
Yeah. Why would anyone do
To
this?
hide something. The real killer, the real motivation, what really happened here.
Maybe the bullet holds
Yes,
more answers.
we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
I mean, it's already gone 10. What happens next?
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone? What should I do in the meanwhile?
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks, and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
I mean, it's like the end of the day anyway. Can we take a speech
I
off?
thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
Oh.
Leave it to processing.
Okay.
Let's not turn this
Let's
into
bag
some
him,
kind of
take him
circus.
away.
All right.
There go those beautiful enamel boots.
Oh.
He will never own the full set now. May they rest in processing.
I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
Oh, bye, Boots. Bye, Boots. On my own, pretending he's beside me. Ha.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny, shriveled head of cauliflower.
What do I do with you bullets?
The squished little thing has no idea.
Oh.
I know. You should find the gun that shot this bullet.
Eat it? Find the gun that... It's my friend! I'm going to start talking to it. It will keep me... No, I'm going to find
That
the gun that
sounds
shot
like
it.
something a police detective would do.
It does!
First, you should learn all you can about this little guy.
Yeah.
Then find the gun that shot it and the person that gun belongs to. He used it to kill your victim. Neato.
Neato! Neato Rooney. Fill it
The
with bag.
squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge. The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 millimeters in diameter.
Okay, look at the jacket.
You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard.
And the core?
It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound. Far away, Lieutenant Kitsuragi is flipping through stations in his Kanima. He is not here examining the bullet with you. He should be. He would find this very intriguing. Mention it to him later when he's here.
Okay. Well, it might be bedtime then, I guess. I've got a skill point I can spend. We'd have some things. Oh, I've got loads of things. Oh, maybe I should... It's annoying that I don't know what they're going to do until I've done them. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna do one. This one. Might be a mistake, but hey. Right. I'm not going to do anything related to the case without Kim around, because I think Kim looks after me. Could talk to Lena again though.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
Oh, tell me about some cool cryptids.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone.
Yeah.
She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work.
Tell me about some cool cryptids.
I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
Is this a cryptid?
Yes. It's the kind green ape. Half war story. half undiscovered species in the genus Homo.
War story?
Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war. The kind green ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva.
With its saliva?
Yes, it has amazing healing qualities. Some soldiers reported growing back limbs, regaining their sight.
And an undiscovered subspecies of man?
Indeed, there is.
Oh, the game really
it's
doesn't
our
like
closest
being in this
relative
room.
among the cryptids. Same taxonomic family, different genus.
Do you mean genus?
Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own. Just like your partners.
I think there's a name for that. Racism.
I didn't mean to imply that Saelites are in any way inferior to us. In some ways, they are superior. Every species has its advantages and disadvantages. The kind green ape, too, is in some ways superior to us. Such kindness as it is demonstrated is not common among humans. Granted, kindness may not be an evolutionary advantage.
All right.
Of course, dear.
The game, the stream doesn't like being in this room, so I'm going to leave this room. Let's go to Betty Pies. Oh, still lagging. Something out here. I do look a lot like a hobo right now. Lagging! I think it's the lights it doesn't like. Can I look at this? Apparently not.
This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than you are right now. Ah, that soap scum smell. It smells like life, at least compared to you. The bathtub slowly fills with water. The water beckons. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting, like amniotic fluid. A few beer cans are bobbing up and down along your flanks, like sad
I
duckies.
didn't clear out the bath first. I just left all the crap in it.
You feel nice and lonely, and so tired.
Yeah, they're taking the beer
Now
cans out.
you are alone with your thoughts in the tub. But it's easier than being alone with your thoughts outside the tub.
Imagine
You see the
something.
corpse. You can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to take more than one bath to get rid of that stench. Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the planet's curvature. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. What are you doing? You're not some fat fish in a fucking aquarium.
I could be.
Time to get moving. The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
I can use the chain cutters. That's interesting.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face. The faucet is
Yeah.
quite terribly mangled, but you just might be able to twist its parts into place. You handle
I'm
the chain
rolling
cutters
well
deftly,
today.
applying just enough pressure. The faucet regains a recognizable shape. The steam stops. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. Everything is connected. Everything has a purpose. The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it.
I mean, we'll give this a go.
Still not happening.
Well, it was worth a try. Okay, Betty
The
buys.
bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but it's yours.
And sleepy sleep.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your
still
hardest
very
to
laggy.
fall asleep.
Lucky.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself.
All right.
You're not cooperating, brother man.
Oh, why?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
I'm sorry, Cells. It's all me. It's all my fault.
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
I need medical attention.
Oh, yes. They'll check you out, give you some pills, make it all okay.
I mean, yes.
The Wonder Makers.
Don't be stupid, Harry. It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospital. All you've got to do is pray to God it passes and stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
I will. I'm looking at people all the time. I like them.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
Some of them are.
Some of them are.
That's exactly what I said.
Others are scared. At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets.
It is weird when you think that everybody has stuff going on in their head just like you do.
People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves, a great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself.
Seems
while
like
the
it.
world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Morning. Stop lagging. I think it doesn't like the disco ball, maybe, or all the people in there. I don't know. I don't know what it doesn't like. It doesn't like something. Can I fix this?
The window stands broken.
Okay. Oh, laggy, laggy, laggy.
The door is closed. Still no answer. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. This door can open.
Okay. Kim's back!
Yes? Excuse me?
Following me. It's just an observation.
You have a distinctive way of walking. If I walk, I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically.
How's that?
They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Why containers?
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Okay.
Can I help you?
No.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
What's behind the door?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door.
I mean, that's not the only thing it means, but in this case, probably. Leah said you're friends with Mañana, is that true?
The mention of Mañana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends?
What's in that borscht you're making there?
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
I'm sorry, I don't understand you.
Just one word. Sounds quizzical. Then he awaits your answer with his brow arched.
Yeah.
Borscht need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Yeah. No vodka.
The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak.
That's it. Still can't get in there.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. The door does not.
Okay. So, you need to open the... Oh. I know, you know.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Miss Beaufort.
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes. In the way she stands.
Gotcha.
In her face.
Easy Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men. I suggest...
Even though she has...
No. Talk.
Fine. don't know if I've got anything else to say to him.
It's you again. What is it?
I don't know. Have I got any points? No. I just found a bullet in the hanged man's
bullet,
head.
you say? That's mighty curious.
Indeed. Mighty. How did it get there?
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads.
Well, that's true.
I guess it's only logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
I mean...
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
I'm going to ask you again. Why was this in the victim's head?
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
Uh-huh.
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
I think the hanging was a cover-up for the shooting.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
They're only pretending to enjoy this. Beneath the act, they don't like you knowing this.
Did you shoot him?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
No, he meant before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
We'll figure this out sooner or later.
Never been worried in my life, lawman.
It's not like he blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there, somewhere.
I talked to Joyce, the make you hanged. His friends are coming.
Yeah. By friends, you mean his squad mates from Cronell.
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Yes, they're forming some kind of tribunal in the
This is what happens if you take the law into your own hands. Other people start doing it too.
Let them come. The Hardy Boys are right fucking here.
You heard the man. Right here. We're armed. We got the whole district behind us, and Glenn. Glenn is fucking crazy.
Well, I don't disagree with you
Yeah.
there.
A well-oiled murder machine.
The mood is on the rise. They're feeling confident, ready to punch out the whole Merc platoon.
The mercenaries are armed with automatic
We
weapons.
got weapons of our own. We got Ister 50s, Zeelagers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home.
Will they pierce ceramic
I
armor?
guess we're gonna see, aren't we?
That was an unsure phrasing.
See what? They don't?
Yeah, like you've been up against ceramic armor. You haven't even seen the whole suit, right? I've seen the whole fucking thing, and it didn't make him immortal.
Joyce said they've gone rogue. No one's controlling them.
Big fucking surprise. Like,
All
what do
right,
you
all
mean?
right, all right.
Okay.
I mean, okay, they're going to wipe you the fuck out, Titus.
No, they won't. Get out of here with your negative energy.
All he means is that the situation is serious.
No wonder you cops get shot to shit every day. Can't go to war with an attitude like that.
That's going up all the time. I can give it a go.
As you look around this room full of
Yes!
sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar?
I was not expecting to pass that. I'm rolling so good today. Where have I seen this
You
before?
believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on desks, talking shit, and wasting time.
I get it, Titus. You guys really are the authority around
Huh?
here. You must be. You're just like real cops, drinking beer and sitting around with your dicks in your hand.
You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
No, I'm drunk on the job too. I don't give a shit, just like you guys.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martinez was a dump before we put this outfit together.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already.
It's not about who did it, it's about the victim. She needs
Titus?
help.
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up.
Yes.
But on his terms.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you help her. But you treat her with respect.
Always.
If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain, buddy.
What is her name?
Clausia. I'm on
Oh, I met
She's
her.
staying here at the Whirling in Rags.
Yeah.
A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit, blonde. That's Amon Ju with an O-U.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs?
Oh no.
That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a
Oh no.
Sure. Why not?
Oh,
You've probably
no.
seen her around.
Oh no. Oh no.
You inexplicably
Fuck.
act cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off, calm, normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Okay, what's her relationship with the mercenary?
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship.
Was like that karaoke incident all over again. Or like some of the other girls he was harassing.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
When was the rape?
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer.
Hello. Thanks for the advice. I am doing my best. I'm not too worried about messing up my run in inverted commas. I don't know what outcomes are possible. I'm playing this blind, so I'm just doing what I can. But yeah, I get Titus is a tricky beast.
Here you go, boss.
What's your relationship
I know
with her?
her.
How well do you know her?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We party. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
Yeah, when you can't level up a stat and then you need that stat to try dialogue again. Yeah. I've had that with physical instruments. I can't improve it anymore through levels and stuff, so. She's not from around here.
You mean Revachol? Nah. Our Miss Aranye disco dancer is an immigrant or a drifter of some sort. Been staying over here over the winter.
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all.
Alright, Fat Angus, calm down.
Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it.
You said you partied. Cool. That's cool. But what did you mean?
What do you think I meant?
Sex, drugs, and karaoke, right?
Yes, and no. Got something to say about it?
So the two of you were close.
No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after. So put your dick away.
All right.
He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now.
Thank you. We'll talk to
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Okay. I wonder if I go upstairs now, I can talk to her.
Officer, what was that?
You mean the sweating and fidgeting when he mentioned her name?
Yes.
And the sort of quivering jello thing with the eye?
Yes.
I think I know that woman.
The victim? Is there something I should know before we talk to her?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
No, I'm not going to say the first thing. She knows I did some pretty crazy stuff before I passed out, that I partied hard. I'm not very mental healthy.
So she overheard you? Or did you party together?
So this is what it feels like to be interviewed.
Not very
You'll
fun.
get through it.
She overheard me listening to music and doing weird things from her room. It's the one next to yours.
Anything else?
I met her in the hallway after I woke up.
Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday.
She knows I didn't remember being a cop.
Okay, that's manageable.
I tried to hit on her.
Understood.
Better not add anything to
What
that.
else did you do?
I asked her where we are, what city it is, what year.
That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else?
No.
We'll be alright, officer.
You feel fortified by his assurance. It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Is it though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up.
I mean, I'll try, but things get messed up sometimes.
You look like shit.
Thanks.
And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
Last couple of days have been
Oh,
rough.
don't be so modest. We're looking at several months worth of damage here.
Oh, these are police
Kind
people.
of a miracle you're still up and at it, to be honest.
Worst character in game. Who's the worst character in the game? The sunglasses guy.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What you want?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face. The suit, the sunglasses, the haircut. He's famous. That's how you know his face.
Give it a go.
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Do you know me from somewhere?
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
From where? From another life?
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this
Oh.
alternate and totally fictional reality?
God. I can't remember which station I belong to. Uh, 41st.
Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere.
Oh, I didn't see your message there. Thanks.
Somewhere good.
Okay. Let's talk more about the hypothetical Station 41 you
Okay.
mentioned. What would our relationship be?
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment?
Kim's cooler than you.
I'm sure he's fucking flattered, but Kim is not part of this thought experiment. In this one, we're partners.
The lieutenant is silent.
You seem like a bit of a drag, no offense, but I can do
None
better.
taken, my friend. None taken. Let's be honest. There's been some purely fictional talk in our imaginary station in regards of who'd even be worthy of your partnership. And the conclusion is that a man with your caliber should form his own one-man policing unit. Anyone else would just slow you down.
Do you have a crime to solve?
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
Who else is in our imaginary police station?
You're not going to believe this, but police officers.
Whoa!
Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock.
They sound boring.
Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang.
The far-out son of
Oh,
Lang.
it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you.
Want to tell me more about him or her?
Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling, dished out by the sunglassed man.
Oh, thanks, Kim.
Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw
I do
something.
too. Kim is so patient
gram
with
of
all my
compassion in
bullshit.
that sadness.
Who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. They're mad
Excuse
at
me.
him. No wonder. He just doesn't recognize them.
Are you famous or
Not as
something?
famous as you, superstar.
Yeah, it's still irony.
Fine.
No, not entirely.
Got some questions for you.
About
I'm a
what?
cop.
You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like?
Like a man down on his luck? I'm trying real hard here, man.
Oh, well, go solve your case then. That would count as trying hard.
No? Will you answer
No.
some questions for me?
The
Fine.
man in sunglasses nods.
Watch
See
out
you
for yourself.
around.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Probably. Wait, your voice. I recognise
Oh,
it.
really? I wonder where.
I lost my badge recently when I called in to report it missing. You were there.
That's the where you remember me from?
Skill point. I have a bit of memory
You
trouble.
don't say. Goodbye then. The voice thing was a coincidence. Run along, asshole.
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right?
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Guess it was kind
There's
of weird.
something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. But still,
I should just ask him if we're from the
yes,
same station.
just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though. The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I love how we're calling a horse-faced woman. Like, we couldn't think of anything better to
I would
say.
really prefer not to talk to you right now.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
I'm on a murder investigation. Are you the cavalry?
I'm definitely not the cavalry.
You're a patrol officer?
Yes, I am.
I'm a cop too.
I know.
Here's the real deal.
It's hard to tell whether he's sarcastic or sincere, but if you had to guess, you would say the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
Kim! Why don't you want to talk to me?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
I don't know why. I'm just trying to do my best.
But you're not trying your best, are you?
I
Calm
am. I'm
down.
trying my best. Just my best isn't very good.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
Are we or are we not from the same
God damn
police
it, you
station?
leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for fuck's sake.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets their squad mates?
Precinct.
What precinct?
Am I from? God, he doesn't know.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
Maybe I am. You with him?
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
He's an asshole.
You're an asshole. You know what? Maybe you're with both assholes.
Probably.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay?
Alright. I can't even remember why I was going upstairs again. Oh yes, to talk to the woman who was raped. I remember.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
This is the police. Can we come in?
Come on up. The door is open. I'm drying my hair.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could snoop around before going up.
I could. Oh, let's go. Let's do some snoopage. Snoop, snoop, snoop.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra. Nacra? This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Nacra, opioid antagonist.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
I could up my electrochemistry at this point. Why not? Gotta spend my skill points on something.
A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
What's so exciting about this orange bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
I also see a brand called Preptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. The lieutenant looks toward the door as if he didn't see you pilfer that sweet Preptide. Who cares, man? Who cares what the stiff thinks? Here comes the afterburner. Just put it in your sweaty little
Level
hand.
up when I fail a task. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to play through again at some point, I'm sure. And maybe try and get certain things. But this playthrough, I'm just kind of going with the flow. Doing what feels right at the time. Like I say, I'm not sure. I don't know what possible outcomes there are, what I'm aiming for, any of that jazz. So I'm just doing my thing. Okay.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from the inside. No chips, no hairline fractures. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
This window is recently replaced.
Looks like it, yes.
Interesting. Hello.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Yes. I do know his name. Harry Dubois. Found that out. But yeah, it's really clever that the way they've done it, where you've got complete amnesia and then you find stuff out as you go. You've completed it 3 or 4 times. I can see why. It's got so much replayability value, I think. But yeah, I'm coming at this game, I think, from a point of view of as if I am him. Like, I'm just doing what I do, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. I'm pleased, though, that I've got relatively high health and morale because I died a few times at the start. Nice for you.
It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There is something in her light brown eyes, a sadness, when she thinks about the death of that man.
You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from
sorry,
Precinct
Kim.
57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
I was trying to establish rapport, Kim.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And I have seen a few.
Well, I don't know if I'm 100% playing him with my own ethic. I'm doing things that I wouldn't necessarily do if it was me, but I'm doing stuff that I would do if I was Harry, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I would have pretended to be a racist to get into the harbour if it was me. But, you know.
Oh, yeah. Life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plough into grannies on your morning stroll.
How long do you think until the hard wears us down?
Oh, I've got a couple of good years left on my warranty.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult.
So what you're saying is, don't be a sexist pig. I'll do my best.
No need to dilly-dally. She's tough.
No, shush, physical instruments. I think I'll dilly-dally this time.
You sound like a namby-pamby.
What's your name, miss, for the record?
Clausier Amondou.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese, as does her accent. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Are you from Oranje?
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
It's probably all I need.
The record. So official.
They tell us you've been through something difficult.
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean?
Were you sexually assaulted?
By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant.
That's why I said sexually assaulted.
Vivacious, totally unbothered.
And what does that mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I can't say that stuff about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Interesting.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier.
I'm not going to ask that. What did happen?
We partied.
What kind of partying? The kind I do?
With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that.
Harder than this?
Oh, it is. You're still alive.
I was about to say, so are you, but he's not.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked him.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex.
Were feelings involved?
A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, the scary, is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension? With longing. She misses him.
Oh, and he was hanging there for a week where she could see him. That's horrible.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that.
Titus asked you to spice things up but why was that sentence so hard? Titus asked you to spice things up for us?
Pretty much.
Warming them.
Must have been hard for you seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view.
Oh, I'm
On
sorry.
the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts.
Yeah.
You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
The call reporting the hanging, that was you.
I made it. And I would appreciate
Aha.
it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
I'm getting them ticked off. Cool. I haven't got too many left for Monday now.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
The caller's voice was disguised.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Nicked it?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
So, she's God's mystery phone cutter.
And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age, eyes?
I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Okay.
Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about his... I don't know. Hair.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
What did they hang him for, if not rape?
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But you probably know all about it.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean. But I understood it was dangerous.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Why was there a bullet in his head?
Bullet? They shot him too?
Oh.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me. And Sylvie, the bartender.
It's hard to know what to think about that answer.
Sylvie.
She's just tired. Don't push her too much.
How do the Hardy Boys know you?
They're frequent guests. Downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now.
How did you meet?
Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter.
Did you party?
A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have.
Which one?
Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
Could that be why they lynched him? Jealousy?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? But that's probably where they got the rape idea.
What do you mean?
Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
Thank you for telling us all of this, miss.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid.
Should we head back downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
As he says so, you feel the young woman looking at you and get a feeling you can't quite put your finger on. A suspicion?
I had something else before we go. A little thing.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Nice room
Yeah.
you've got here.
It's pretty deluxe.
The window is new.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. He finds the answer unsatisfying.
What are you doing here?
I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November.
Why here?
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol?
All?
Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell.
Fair dues. You have quite a collection of prescription drugs.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachon, but you should still reprimand her.
Should I?
No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
How did you amass such
With
a
money,
hoard?
sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
The collection includes an Acra.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
True.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry.
You have Preptide.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments.
Like what?
Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically.
Cool. I took some for personal use.
Huh? Motherfucker took my Preptide? Looks like you owe me one, officer. I'm
Probably
talking
shouldn't have
serious
said that.
corruption here.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can easily log it under confiscation.
Robbed by common highwaymen.
It's hard to tell if she means it in earnest or as a joke.
I don't know either.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Got a point. No. Crush fingers. Everyone cross fingers.
She looks ahead. Time moves slowly. the triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry, we will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. Miss Araignée Disco Dancer, you want to put your hand on her back.
No, I
and feel
don't.
it arch.
No, I don't. What's happening?
Nothing. Just time passing. Don't worry. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting. The strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m., drinking coffee, most likely.
What have we got? Okay, yeah. So I could use that if I need more stuff. Touch a bit later. Oh! There's a whole new place open. Oh, and I forgot about that. Oh, and that. Right. Lots of things to do.
The same small, heavy door. No lock.
Hang on. There's a thing.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air.
Cross fingers.
You catch a single flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand. Just a glance. Then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Quick like a cat.
Six crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
What is it, Kim?
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Who pinned them? Which side?
The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War.
Does it bloom in early spring?
Yes, but not this early. Not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved.
Is it a coinkydink?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
Very well.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand.
Okay. Right, this door. Oh, hang on. Kim wants to talk to me.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
Half their reasoning?
Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan.
Why did she say all that?
What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it.
I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known.
If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her.
Something's off here.
You think so? She seemed forthcoming. Unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should
hide
move.
the lie
I
amongst all
suspect
the
our
truth.
investigation will bring us back here soon enough.
Right. Now let's have a look at this.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Where does this
I don't
lead
know.
to?
It is not the first closed door we found in this building. There is also your mysterious blue kitchen door.
Do you think it's important?
I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant.
I could say something, but I'm not going to, because I don't
He
gloat.
doesn't say anything. You should have gloated.
I should have.
It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Sounds like it's heavy, too. Very sturdy.
What if I hold the crowbar? Oh, have I got anything? Right, physical instrument. No, I'm wearing my physical instrument clothes. Okay. That does physical instrument, and that does not. Oh well.
The
Give it a
same
go.
small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Oh. I hurt my toe.
You kick it, gung-ho style. Entering the premises style. But the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you.
Uh-oh.
All right. Let's trash the place.
Let's not.
Let's not. Okay. Well, it was worth a try. We have lots of things we can do today that we couldn't do yesterday. How do I... So. Ah, that's what you mean when you messed up your van. Yes. I see what you mean. Oh well. I mean, like I say, if stuff goes horribly wrong, stuff goes horribly wrong. It's just, you know. But I'm not going to talk to them yet because I've got so many things to do. Oh no, I know what I wanted to do. I want to find out what we found out about the armor. Oh! And I can turn the lights on and look
Inside,
at my...
you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Headlights.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement.
Sure.
The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage.
Go.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl, like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go.
Okay. So now...
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry.
Ah, Martinez.
Where are we?
Let me see. Right here.
I'm sure I've seen one.
Oh, yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
Perforation.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots.
Not bad.
Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet.
That is true.
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Let's count them.
You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you, though you can't say why precisely. The last row has 3 perforations. That's
Only
it.
3? What do all these holes
Those
mean?
are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant. Son, here is where we score your life performance. You better hope it's good.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
I don't know.
Fair point. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200.
216 to be exact.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
So you're saying I used to be a super cop?
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row. Right. Those are your confirmed kills.
Oh.
You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
So I'm a killer.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, there are certain officers
Oh,
who treat
sorry,
their kills
cat on
like
the
some kind
keyboard.
of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
Maybe I should pour one out for the boys, the fallen.
If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you.
Yeah, no,
As
I'm
you
not
will.
going to do that. How do you handle
Everyone
the strain?
has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like tip-top racing?
Par exemple,
Maybe I should find a hobby.
anything's better than annihilating yourself with drugs and alcohol.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Thanks.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page.
Ooh.
To the
Ooh! Interesting. I'm mostly a sorry cop. It's quite a quite an even mix of communist, fascist, ultra-liberal and moralist. 2 honour. That's alright. Okay. Oh, he wants to talk to me.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out.
Radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
I'm a bit...
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes.
Just a second, officer.
Sylvie.
Sylvie Malaika on the line for you, officer. Yes. Hello? Oh, great.
Oh,
What
I
else do you
can't.
need, detective?
You
Can't
hear
ask
the call.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer.
Okay.
Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
Okay. You wanted to talk to me?
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
I can't disclose the fact.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
No need for you to do anything. We're looking into it.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan with those rhymes?
Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
Good for you.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Why Tommy Lahom?
Tommy Lam was taken.
Hmm.
My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
It's more him.
Alright, I had another
The
question.
man taps his fingers
Ooh.
rhythmically against his arm. Wait,
Aha!
there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner.
A mirror's
starts
temperature. A mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray.
Whoa. What else?
It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion.
Silent communion. That's good.
Where gaspingly you partake of a shifting identity never your own.
Dang. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
I don't really
No
know.
matter. Great verses like that sometimes. Ephemeral. You might not look it. Seems you have some literary chops. Maybe there's hope for me yet.
That's a strange compliment.
Just messing with you. It's cool. You're an okay guy. For a cop.
For a cop?
They're more often into fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse.
In a small office behind the old military hospital, hunched under the green glow of his desk light, Officer Hans Blau browses through a test print of his Futurist magazine. It's called The Futurist. The typeface on the header is too small.
Any organisation gets all kind of folk. I'm sure we try our best.
The lieutenant looks at you in silence, a curious look in his eyes, nodding slightly.
Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
I'm glad.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Hummety hum. Right. Done. Dum. Anything, I can't do that. Joyce, maybe. Can't really do any of those. Right, I need to go to the waterlock. Was it? No. Wasn't it? This way. Over here. Hello, fellas.
A rusting control panel with loose wires.
Pull it.
You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the water lock starts moving,
Oh, I'm excited now. Get to a new area. What time is it?
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your wanderlust for now.
No,
I
Kim.
don't want us to get sidetracked, not with everything that's going on.
focus on one thing,
Side-tracked.
achieve it, then the next.
Side-tracked. Let's go. Let's go. Stuff ends up connected, old Kimmy boy. haven't got enough for my next night's sleep yet. Yoink. There's the car. Ooh. Banged up fuel canister, hey?
A banged up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. It must be cold and lonely down there, in the icy water. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
This is where all the tracks were leading
It
to.
appears to be so.
Let's
I
investigate.
agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look
The
at the
driver's
motor
still in
carriage
there,
the
right?
deep, dark, cold water. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea.
See you, Gato. Thanks for joining.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists.
What's the make of this MC?
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
How long has it been
The
here?
ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening.
Well, looks like Jacob Irv's journey came to an abrupt end here.
Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes, quite.
What should we do?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
How long will it
I
take
don't
for
know.
the low tide?
An hour or two tops?
Okay, we'll sit on the swing and wait for the tide to recede.
As you sit down in the old rusty playground,
Oh,
the
look
world
at
around you
us.
becomes very silent.
Harry and Kim having a swing.
The hinges creak under your
Oh.
weight, dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
It looks very blue.
Yes, it does.
What's your favourite blue thing?
Let me think about it.
Whistle a tune.
The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance, then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more melodic trill.
Oh, that's lovely.
Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water, and a sunken car.
Oh, this is such a nice contrast to the corpse we dissected earlier.
The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing
We didn't
moves
dissect
like the hour hand on a timepiece.
What opposite it?
30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
Hell no. Yeah, would you rather sit on an anthill for an hour or stand in a river of leeches?
Well, historically, leeches have been used to prevent and even cure many ailments.
Okay, he's thinking. I can do this. Let's do this. Who'd want to sit on an anthill? There are no therapeutic benefits to, well, napalm ants, for example, are used in some rites of passage rituals. Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Do you think I'll ever find my gun?
God, I hope so.
I've been thinking. If I put enough time into eating right and exercising, I could turn myself into a living weapon. Then I wouldn't even need
Your
a gun.
voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Can you make out the mark now?
Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Capri, Model 40. It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, firefighters, animal control people. You know, those kinds of people.
Is that a number on the side?
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it.
Oh.
It's pedagogical.
Oh, God, no. Oh. Oh. Did I crash it? Is it my car?
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry.
41. Precinct 41. A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you. No. Just no. Say no to this, Harry.
No,
yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this.
Oh, it's mine. I drove my car into
I'm
the
afraid
sea.
so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
Oh, things are going so well. We were just whistling
You
merrily.
can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
They're not going to take me back after this, are they?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
Maybe I was in pursuit of someone.
Whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
How do we get it out?
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
It's sunken too deep. There is no access ramp to the coast.
So it's just going to be there like that?
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off. Of whom? I don't think so.
Cat on the
If anything,
keyboard again.
You were probably drunk.
I can still fix it.
That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
People are going to be angry at me, aren't they?
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
The badge, the gun, and now this?
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything. There is also a 4th thing you've lost.
4th thing?
More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined. Lost forever into the deepest of seas.
Well, at least I can see what's in there now.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Let's go take a look.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, my badge! Got my badge! And the coat.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
I got my
At
badge!
least something good came out of all this.
Study it.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document
Harrier.
number, the date of issue, and in the lower right corner, your precinct.
Look at
The
photo.
man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. Good choice. A newer photo would look different.
How old?
8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
And he's winking? Why?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it does on you now. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Name, Harriet Dubois.
Harrier? That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
Wait, what kind of name is Harriet?
It's a wartime name. Revolutionary.
Oh.
The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
A name like armor.
Harriet Dubois it is then.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not. The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information.
Rank.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
W. Freighter?
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
And W. Freighter?
The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're W. Freighter.
Declined?
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors, out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
What's décomptage?
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which, in turn, was developed by last-century experimental psychologists in the University of Königstein.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kinks.
Kinks?
Kinks like satellite officers and the additional freighter rank I already explained.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
Nice. Satellite
You are
officers?
given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite.
So you've been putting up with all my bullshit because I'm your superior?
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
Yeah, we have.
He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it.
Thought my rank was drunk.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary.
That gives me hope.
Good.
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads...
Serial.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
Date of issue.
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you.
Precinct 41.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
What?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva. Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain. The badge in your hand shines as you wrote.
Found out so much. Can't even scroll these now. Ticking them off. Okay. So yeah. Money. What happens to him? Leading away from the accident, so I could retrace my steps. Wait. Some sort of order, please. Trousers. Kingdom of Conscience. Moralist pants. Don't know what that means. How was my thing doing? Ooh, we're nearly there. Nearly there. We're nearly there.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench.
Thinking. Bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through. Pusscat! Yeah, I'm looking at you. Causing chaos. I know it's nearly food time. But just give me a minute. I am going to have to stop playing soon. For otherwise there will be a riot if I don't feed the pusscats on time.
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position.
So if I don't pay the money...
I don't know. Sleeping? What do people do under boats? This is...
Huh?
I can sleep under the boat
Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need at this moment, officer. I understand the situation looks grim, but we must continue with our investigation.
Think of it as a salvation.
Well, look, there's somewhere I can sleep if I have to.
Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with?
What's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. What are the other ones?
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
Missing cryptozoologists.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for animals who are hard to find.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen?
2 old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
Where did they go?
I don't really know.
Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
No, that's it.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Nice sword.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
Why do you need intimidation?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Can I borrow the sword?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. You would put me in an early grave.
Typical patriarchal nonsense.
Sure. Venomosity. Sure. Venomosity.
Why don't more
what makes
women
you think
arm
we haven't?
themselves?
The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that. That goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Show her the wonder.
No, I'm not going to show her the wonder.
Coach means the expression.
No. No. No.
No one wants to talk about how frightened they are. But only frightened people are really dangerous. And plenty of them are dangerous.
Where will the men
Some
now?
went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
Gone where?
To the waves.
Oh.
The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Oh.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. A bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
Time really is the best key officer, isn't it?
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better drunk. Ask her.
No.
Both of you could need some action.
No. Okay. Ooh. Perception boots. Yes, please. Right, that is where I'm going to stop for the day, because otherwise I'll have the riot on my hand from 2 hungry pussycats. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure you follow and hit the notification thing so you know when I'm streaming next. Should be Thursday evening UK time. But sometimes things happen and I stream at other times. Sometimes things happen and I don't stream when I'm scheduled to. Life gets in the way sometimes. Either way, I hope you really enjoyed it as much as I did, and I really hope I will see you next time. Bye!